Welcome back to another episode of Just Jew and Me. I am Donna.
And I'm Adam. What's going on? How's your weekend been so far?
It's good. Gmar Hatima Tova.
Oh, jeez. You
Wait,
really out the gate.
Bring up Jesus right after I say that. What kind of a
It's
Jew
right out
are
the gate.
you?
I know. It's just what I say. It's what I say.
It's not good. Should we start that over? Gmar
okay,
Hatima
fine.
Tova. Do you know what that means?
No, and why don't you tell me and the rest of the audience?
You don't know what those words actually mean?
I don't.
It's like basically have a good, easy fast.
Oh, is that no? A lot of words.
Well,
for
do
that.
you know what? You know you're not supposed to say like Happy Yom Kippur.
I know, and I don't get mad if people who are not Jewish say that to me because they don't know what it is. But yes, I know you're not supposed to say it. It's not a fun holiday. That's for sure.
No, yeah, it's definitely it's not supposed to be a fun holiday, but it's like, look, it's all in like the culmination of the new year. It's officially like the new year because you're supposed to it doesn't really work in my brain in the right order. And I have some complaints to corporate.
All right, so let's hear these complaints. I want to hear them. Let's knock
If
them
I
out.
was going to write to the corporate Jew,
The
corporate Jewish calendar of the holidays.
Corporate Jew. Now you're perpetuating stereotypes. Continue.
Why?
I don't know. You know, we
Isn't
own
there
everything.
someone in charge? There's
Well,
always someone. There's
the
management
Jews-
somewhere.
The Jews are in charge of everything. Isn't that what we've been told our entire lives?
Well, no, I mean, they're definitely not in charge of Hollywood. Definitely
No,
not in charge of the
not
media.
anymore. Not anymore.
No, definitely not in charge of conspiracy theories. So
Not anymore.
I think I'm just saying they're in charge of the Jewish holiday calendar.
And they should be in charge because it's a Jewish calendar, so Jews should be in charge of that.
Maybe
Let's hear your complaints.
like just God. Okay, can I talk to God? Dear
God
God.
God does subscribe to our podcast. On
He left
Spotify.
such a nice review.
Yes, he did. It's very awesome.
Well, I don't know if it's a he or she or they, them. We don't know.
Yes.
But God, I have a question for you. It would make so much more sense for my brain if Yom Kippur was first and then Rosh Hashanah was second. And I'll tell you why. I feel like you're supposed to go first to atone for your sins, feel sad, feel like depressed, fast, feel in like, you know, your moment of like, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that. I really hope you forgive me, et cetera, et cetera. And then celebrate. Why didn't we celebrate 10 days ago? And then now we have to feel bad.
Because I feel like us being Jews, this is just the way it's always been. We get happy and then there's just something that just comes and bashes us on the head to basically say, you're not allowed to be happy anymore. You have to repent for your sins.
Already?
Yeah. It's only been, 7-8 days at this point?
Are we repenting for the future year or for last year?
I think, I always forget this. So this is why I should go back to Hebrew school with my kids so they can. Maybe I'll ask my kids.
Dylan would know. He's home. He should be here for this part.
Okay. Well, maybe he'll make an appearance if you want to text him.
He's on the computer, but I'll ask him. Do you know if we are repenting for this year or last year's sins? There's going to be.
Can I lodge the complaints as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you always do. So
I know, but now we're actually, we have an audience with God, so I might as well just have this. Okay. So you had your thing. Mine is, it's the same for every Jewish holiday, but this one specifically is the starting at sundown and ending at sundown. Can we just have a day? Like, why do things have to start at sundown?
Yeah, like so you want to eat snacks like while you're watching TV?
Right. That's my problem, right? So tonight I'll have to eat. I don't know what time sundown is. Probably.
It's like early too.
Right. It's early because we're getting later in the year. So let's say it's at 6:30. So now I have to sit from 6:30 until I go to bed, and I'll be watching the Dodger game because obviously it's playoffs. And I can't eat anything. I have to sit and not eat anything.
6:37 p.m.
Yeah. See. So now 6 o'clock first pitch. I got to sit there and not eat anything for the rest of the evening, and then wake up tomorrow morning, go to synagogue, and sit there and not eat anything. But I am excited. Break the fast is one of my favorite parts of any holiday that we have because I love having breakfast for dinner. Lots of bagels. Lots of
How many are
mimosas.
you eating?
Hopefully a lot. Hank's are pretty big too. We get Hank's bagels. Uh, if I haven't eaten all day, I'll eat a bunch. Why not?
What, a bunch?
Yeah,
How
sure.
many bagels can fit into your body?
I'll let you know what? I'll come back next week and I'll let you guys know. Now I take this as
But
a
that's like
dare.
so much bread.
It is. It's a lot of bread. I won't eat that many.
You
I'll eat
can't
one.
eat more than 2 bagels.
No, I'll eat one bagel and then some babka,
Oh,
probably.
that's not that crazy. What is so? I'm bagels. I'm so excited for all the one
And
bagel.
babka. Well, I know. Listen. I'm playing
You're
it up right
so
now.
dramatic.
Me? No. Me?
I'm so excited for.
Oh,
I can't wait for all the bagels. See, it's
that way.
just like a Saturday morning.
All the bagels. What the
Oh,
voice
can't
was that?
wait.
Is that how I sound?
Yeah,
All the bagels.
like a crazy person.
All right. I'm sorry.
I am going to. So I never fast. It's not like something I ever have done, and I was thinking about actually trying. And I
Okay.
don't know what is bringing it on or what, but the 6:30 start time is a little much for me. Would I be a bad Jew if I started tomorrow?
No. No. Listen. There are rules, and I'm putting quotation marks. That Jews follow, but do we follow all of these all the
I
time?
think it's more about so I'm really taking advantage of the no work. I'm not working. And I usually really don't do anything I usually treat Yom Kippur fairly normal. My kids don't go to school, so I don't go to, obviously I don't take them to school, but I usually pretty much treat it like a normal day. I usually work out, I usually work. Tomorrow, I'm really taking a day of rest. I have chosen
Nice.
not to do my show. I'm going to try to get a pre record in so I can at least air something, but I'm not going to work. I'm going to stay home. I'm just going to maybe walk the dogs a little bit, but I'm just going to chill, watch TV, maybe clean around the house. And then we're actually going to a break fast. So since we're going to a break fast for the first time in a long time, since my family doesn't do that, I'm like, maybe I should actually try to fast just because we're actually doing a break fast. So I was thinking, and by
Mm-hmm.
the way, I stop eating usually between around 8. So it's not like I'm going to be eating 5 hours
Yeah,
after.
that's fair.
So I think I'll probably, eat dinner and then maybe a little dessert, normal, stop at 8, and then tomorrow. But I will have coffee. I'm not going to kill myself here. I
That's
will have
fine.
coffee and I will drink water because I also don't want to be all headachy and nuts.
Yeah. So here's what I do. I'll fast starting tonight. I may go a little bit past the 6:30, but I don't go too past the 6:30.
You can go to
I'll fast.
6:37.
Yep, that's true. I can go to 6:37. And I will fast tomorrow, but I do drink water.
No coffee.
It depends. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Just however I'm feeling that morning, basically. So I will fast. For me, I go to synagogue, so I'll be there
You brush your
for.
teeth.
Oh hell yeah, I brush my teeth. That's non-negotiable.
Do you
Plus, I'm not swallowing toothpaste.
do
I'm
you
spitting it out.
pre-rip toilet paper?
Yes, I pre-rip the toilet paper. I I can't. I guess I can't use the Toto that day. Is that what's happening?
What's the because you have a
Yeah, I can't use the Toto.
No, you're gonna
I
use your phone.
I'm gonna use everything. I'm just not gonna eat, and then I get to sit in synagogue for 2 to 2.5 hours. So can't eat there, and then I do what I do every day, Donna. I take a long ass nap.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. And then
Yeah,
break
me too.
fast is at 6:30 then probably, right?
Yes, yes. So I'll be fine. Not too worried about it.
I'm
Are
really not
you?
worried about you, Adam. I think
Are
we'll be okay.
any of your family members doing it, or is it just
Dylan
you?
wants to do it. He's like, my
Okay.
bar mitzvah's this year, Mom. I'm 2 months away from my bar mitzvah. I can do it. I mean, he probably can't because he doesn't eat a lot anyway. Oliver will never last. He'll wake up and eat. Lance definitely won't last because he has to work. He's
Oh,
working
he's working.
on his show and he's working at Disneyland. It's pretty
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
a
of
lot.
walking, a lot of moving. There's absolutely no way. And he didn't take the day off. Lance
Yeah.
doesn't. But I don't judge anyone for anything. Also, okay, so that's Yom Kippur. Then next week is Sukkot.
Yes, it
My
is
sister
Sukkot.
builds a sukkah.
Oh, really?
She doesn't
That's so
build one
awesome.
with vines and stuff, but she puts one together with a sheet.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's like her new
In her
thing.
backyard.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Has
cute.
she done it? How long has she done that for?
She did it 1 year. So now it's
Oh,
like her
okay.
thing. She took it on. You know, my sister doesn't send her kids to any Jewish school or anything. They had bar mitzvah, bat mitzvahs, but they don't do anything Jewish other than that. So I think she feels the need to like take on as many Jewish holidays as she can just to feel Jewish, you know?
Yeah,
Um, okay. So speaking of being Jewish, we need to get into some Jewish slash Israel content topics
let's
because
do it.
every week there's more. Number one, big week for the Israel Hamas war.
Yes.
I call it the Israel-Hamas war because really that's what it is. And as you know, Netanyahu was here in New York, and after that disgusting
Was it in
treatment
New
at the
York or
UN.
DC? Oh, you're right. He was in
Well,
New
he
York
was
at
in
the
New
end.
York and then he went to
And then he
DC.
came to New
Yeah.
York. Right, right, right.
So after that disgusting treatment at the UN, which we talked about, yeah, I feel like you
Uh,
mentioned that last week. No.
we may have mentioned. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, we did that. They walked out. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so insane. And then he went to the White House and they announced Trump and him announced on today's Wednesday. What day is it? Monday
Yeah.
announced this peace plan. The 17 point or something, 21 point peace plan. It's got lots of details to it. Israel, of course, agreed to it. Trump agreed to it, of course. And so many other Middle Eastern countries, you know, gave it their blessing. Turkey, UAE, like all these other countries basically said, like, yalla, let's do it. Let's
Yep.
go. So Hamas is the only one, this freaking terrorist organization is the only one that's holding out. And as of today, which is now 2 days after, we still don't have an agreement.
No. And what's infuriating is that when we think about the war and we think about everything that they have complained about, they being Hamas and the and Palestine and all that. Two of the big things that they've complained about were uh, one, not a lot of access to food, right? Which, you know, it's pretty much bullshit because Hamas, we give them, Israel and the US gives them a lot of food. Hamas hijacks it and takes it for their own.
Totally.
But now the whole thing is like the floodgates will open, the amount of food and healthcare and everything will flood in to help everybody there. That's number one. Number two is there's always been this idea that Israel has either kidnapped or arrested certain, Palestinians. All of the people, for the most part, that Israel has arrested in the last however many years, not even in the last 2 years during the war, but every time else, are people who have either attacked the IDF, attacked Israelis, or are just terrorists of Hamas. So part of this deal is basically handing over, I don't even remember the number, maybe 1,200 of these arrested individuals back to Palestine. Okay? These are two big things that that have asked for. However, as you said, they've stayed silent. And I continue to read, insiders, whatever it is, have said they've heard from Hamas or whoever it is that Hamas will probably not take this deal. It is, it is, it goes back to what you and I were talking about last week, which was they don't want the war to end. They want it to continue. They want Israel to look like shit. And all of these things are out there. And, I'm sure people are even saying, if you're pro-Israel, that we're giving too much away, that we're doing too much. And now Hamas still doesn't say anything, and they're still silent. And from, things that I've been reading, they may not even take it.
It's so insanely frustrating for so many reasons. Obviously, number one, we're in negotiations with a terrorist organization, which seems so upside down because like we've all watched movies where you try to negotiate with terrorists. Like it doesn't usually
never negotiate with terrorists.
like it doesn't usually work out well.
Right.
Number two, we have a a situation where, look, no one's like good and bad when it comes to war and killing and whatever. Obviously, both sides have done, good and bad. But you can absolutely agree that Hamas is not like working on a good side. Okay. There's no humanitarian sides of Hamas. There's no part of Hamas that's like, we're trying to do this the nice way. Okay. Hamas is like out there literally trying to screw over both Israel and their own.
Of
There's
course.
no part of Hamas that's like, we're just trying to do this to better the lives of our citizens. Like, F no, they're ruining their own people's lives. And I would think, even though they say that the majority of Palestinian citizens are with Hamas, maybe I also think that there's a huge amount of Palestinians that probably are hoping and praying and begging that Israel gets their way here, because they also, their lives are ruined under
Yeah.
Hamas, right? So I know it's tricky because we all saw the footage of so many people screaming and cheering and clapping on October 7th when the hostages were being pulled into Gaza. But I imagine there's a lot of good people, not like, I don't know if
Well,
they're
they could be
good
good
or
people.
bad, but
They could be
innocent.
good people, right? And listen, these are human beings.
Yeah.
These are people that, they probably, you sometimes you hear a little bit of, like, I guess, leaked footage or whatever it is of some of these, some of these people that live in Gaza who are like, we don't like Hamas, we want Hamas to stop
Mhm.
because we see what the danger they are putting us in. And the other part of this too is that they could be afraid to talk, right? The idea your regime is run. It's not a word. Your regime is ran by a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
Um, the threat of something bad happening to you if you speak up or speak against whatever type of, whatever Hamas's leader is and all of that is probably scary. You can't
Well,
just do it.
and it's interesting because we talk about it on this show, how fast everyone's to call, our leaders here in
Yep.
America fascists. And meanwhile, they're standing on the corner of Laurel Canyon and Ventura with signs saying, Donald Trump is a fascist. Well, in Gaza, you can't even say it out loud that
Yep.
that the people that run your country are dictators. You can't say that out loud. You will literally get beheaded. That is truly a dictatorship in the most sick, disgusting, evil way possible. You can't speak out against your government. You can't speak out against your leaders. You literally will get killed. That is the most awful, horrible form of fascism in the world that there possibly is. So it's like a life and death situation to speak out against. There's no one
Right.
to complain to. There's no one to like be like, excuse me, I don't like the way that this city is being run. It's not like here in America. That's why
Yeah.
I say it's so ridiculous when people say we have a fascist president. He may be
No.
an asshole sometimes. He may be a jackass. Sure.
And you may not you just don't like the president. You don't like what he does. And sure, you may think
Sure.
a lot of what our president does is crosses the line and does this and that. But like
Absolutely. But
the word, oh God, you're gonna get me into a whole thing. I went to no, and I say this because I went to therapy yesterday,
oh,
and
don't you
I
know to
we
do therapy after just you and me?
no, I like it because it gives me content, right? Um, I, I talked, like I'm saying, for like the 45 of the 50 minutes that I was in therapy about the word Nazi and how
Mm.
it's being bastardized. And
Yeah.
obviously, Nazi is a bad word and we don't like it and this and that. But the fact that we as a people have now decided that everybody's a Nazi
Yep.
and that Trump is a Nazi and everybody on the right is a Nazi and this and that. To me, it's like if you put Trump and Hitler side by side, there's no comparison. And what you can say about Trump, maybe he has some ideas that are, hinging on that fascist side, but he's not a fascist. He's not a Nazi. It is just insane to even put those two together. And I have this conversation with friends, and we always get into arguments about it.
Right,
It's
because they believe
infuriating.
he is.
Well, because it's just become I don't know if they're saying that they believe he is, but the word Nazi now has been so watered down
Yeah.
that I wish, and I was telling my therapist this, Like, I wish we could find another word that was like in the middle there, so you can reserve the word Nazi for actual Nazis
Yeah.
and not for someone who you don't like their views and you don't like what they're doing with this country.
Oh my God, Adam, we could talk about this entire episode, could be about this entire topic because of my Patreon on Sunday. I'm so lucky that I have that outlet because it's a paid subscription only outlet where I can say whatever I want without worrying about YouTube coming after me, without
Right.
worrying about, getting canceled or whatever. Because the worst thing that happens is someone can just say, I don't want to pay for this anymore and they can cancel. But I am allowed to have my own views. And yeah, people can try to cancel me all the time, and they do. I mean, you know how people hate me on Reddit. A specific subset of people hate me on Reddit
Yes.
and they're usually very, very, very liberal and probably don't love Jews, is the majority of them, because that's what I noticed. They call me the Zionist MAGA jerk.
Of
But
course.
I feel really, really confident that we are in a position in our lives where, and I feel really strongly about this today specifically because I have been spending the last 2 days listening to a podcast series that I find phenomenal, and it's called The
Mm,
Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling. And it's
heard
about,
about this.
oh my God, it came out in 2022. It was from the Free Press, who I love. And it was all about how her tweets basically about the trans issue. And she was coming from a place protecting women's rights. But of course, it got totally switched around and came out as if she was anti trans. And because of the whole cancel culture and just the time of the world that we're in, if people don't agree with what you're saying, you are immediately branded as evil.
Right.
It's so polarizing. So anyone that doesn't agree with you, you are the Nazi, you're the racist, you're the fascist, you're the evil, you're the, Zionist now is like the as bad as can be in people's minds. You're a fascist, you're a homophobe, you're I even think this is bad for a lot of times with anti-Semitism. I think people use anti-Semitism way too easily too. Jews need to be careful. I say this all the time too. I think we need to be careful as Jews not to take everything so seriously. Also,
Right.
do
Well,
you
you
not
touched
think
on
that?
that last week. You touched
Oh,
on
I
that
said
last
that.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
No, I
have to,
agree.
because then we become too. Then
And
people are like, "Come on."
we're watering down that word too. I agree. I don't think everything is anti-Semitic. But I guess to that point though, what I do hate is when people tell me who are not Jewish what is and what isn't anti-Semitic, right? That really bothers me because again, and I
Absolutely.
know it's not. I know this is like whateverism, but like whataboutism. I mean, but if this was a black person, you would not say this is not you, whatever it said is not racist against a black person. If you're a white person saying that, you can't say that to somebody
But they
who's
do
black.
now.
What do you mean?
That happens all over the internet now.
What that it's? What
That
do you mean?
people are tell people that's not
Mhm.
racist
To whom? To
to
black
black
people?
people.
Really? I
Oh
haven't
yeah.
seen that. I haven't
Oh,
seen
I
that at
think if
all.
you, I think people feel. I don't think they used to. Like in the height of Black Lives Matter, it was too scary
Right.
to ever question anyone's feeling of racism. But
Okay.
now I think people are so emboldened online to just
Hmm.
be able to tell people what they're supposed to think and what they're not. It's really a scary, scary time in the online space. Lance always tells me, because Lance is really deep, my husband, for those that don't know, but Lance is really deep into learning about like bot farms. And he
Oh,
is convinced that 95% of the people we're fighting with online are bots.
regarding
Everything.
everything.
All of the stuff that makes us angry online. And I'm like, well, yes, and because a lot of the people I like look at their profiles and I'm like, no, they're real. Like I see their kids and I see their families. And he's like, no, some of them are. But so much of the reason that people are getting so hyped in comments is because the majority of comments look the same and like not look the same word for word, but they're all in the same sentiment. And that's
Yeah.
because of the bots.
Yeah. And what I tend to do now is I'll look at someone's profile when they say something inflammatory,
And a lot
and
of them
I'll
are just
see.
0 followers.
Right. So if they have 0 followers and then, or they have followers but 0 posts and it's locked and it's this and that, my assumption goes that they probably are a bot and it's probably there to just divide us. There are obviously, like you said, the people that are there that have a full account, a lot of posts on there, even if it's even if it's locked, a locked account. There's still a lot of posts there. Those are the people I'm like, okay, then you are really thinking this about me because I'm Jewish or whatever the case may be. But I don't know if 95% is the number, but I'm
I'm being
sure.
sarcastic, but
Got it. I'm sure that there is a large percentage of bots that are going around, and it could be bots on every single side,
oh, that's what I'm
right?
saying. I don't
Like it
think it's
doesn't
one
matter what
side.
side you're on, right? It's everywhere,
It's like
and
literally from both angles because I'm sure people feel this really strongly in like conversations about gay rights, about everything.
right. And it's like every time you're in a comment section, it's like, okay, bot. Like someone will say that, and I'm like, yeah, are they? We're just now, but also that's the problem is that now people are just calling someone a bot who could not be a bot, right? So it's like an actual person, but someone's calling them a bot because they don't agree with what they're saying. It's like this weird convoluted space with the internet and social media, and it's really frustrating. And I still just for some reason read comments because
I know it
hate
would
them.
be the best thing ever if we didn't have access to comments, but then you're missing on half the conversation, which is not good either. But I will say, where we are right now is we're waiting. But Noah Tishby had such an amazing post yesterday, and I'm sure you saw it. It went
Mhm.
incredibly viral. And she said what so many of us are thinking, which is actors, Hollywood actors, those of you that signed these incredible, huge lists for peace
And
and
ceasefires and
ceasefires, and Hannah Einbinders and Mark Ruffalo, Cynthia Nixon, Susan Sarandon, all of you guys, Joaquin Phoenix, Emma Stone, those of you, where the hell are you? Why are you so silent right now when Israel is laying their cards on the table saying, we want peace. We're ready to stop it. We're ready to pull all of our armies and pull out of Gaza and everything. Give us our hostages and let's call a truce. And Israel is down and America's down and all the other countries are down and Hamas is
right.
the only one isolated. Where are you guys? And it's crazy. Silence. And so I go over on Hannah Einbinder's page yesterday because that was the only one I could stomach. I don't know how I could even stomach her.
Yeah, how do you stomach her
I
though?
mean, it's hard. It's hard. I had to like get ready for it. And I went into her stories, and it's as if she has no knowledge of anything that's happening because all she's doing is posting like war propaganda, like how
Yeah,
horrible it is and how much they're starving. It's
yeah.
like,
When
what world
there's
are you
something
living in?
there's something right there. Just maybe advocate for the ceasefire, this deal, because this is what you're asking for, isn't it?
Like, that would be the moment to say, Hamas, it's time.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
as someone that's arguing for Palestinians, like I said, free Palestine, this is the moment. Free Palestine, Hamas, lay down your weapons.
yeah, and
For
this is
my
what it is.
Yeah, for my friends in Palestine. Remember she said that? I have friends in
Yes,
Palestine.
friends, and she has a freaking what's it called? A what's that word I was thinking of? A pen pal. That's pretty
Yeah.
much probably all she has, right? Somebody that she found online, and then she's just sending back and forth emails.
I went down an incredible rabbit hole of this one girl. I think I follow her now. It's like something in Gaza. It's a woman who lives in Gaza. And yes, she's like in the northern part, or I forget what part of Gaza that's pretty war torn. There's like a
Yeah.
part of Gaza that is definitely war torn. And then there's a huge part of Gaza that is gorgeous and like
Mm-hmm.
untouched with like gorgeous restaurants and a beautiful, like thriving economy.
Yeah, everyone's selling shit everywhere. It looks like wonderful. It's very thriving.
Markets,
Yep.
restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
spas, um, like gorgeous, like maybe we should go there. And it's interesting. It kind of reminds
I'm
me
not
of,
going there. I'm
no,
not
I
going
don't
there.
want to go either. But
Okay, good.
it's interesting that when we were in the fires here in LA, how everyone thought all of LA was on fire, but like there was a lot of parts of LA that were just
Right.
fine.
It's big
Exactly.
parts.
And that's just LA. So you can imagine that Gaza is not all under attack, right? It's just a
Right.
little part of Gaza that's under. Anyway, she literally lives in the war torn area, but she posts all the time about her like getting her nails done. Like there's
I
still manicurists working.
I don't know if I so this is I may have seen this on TikTok too because I went on this person's, it could be the same person. I immediately saw that and I went on her page and I'm like, who gets a manicure during a genocide?
Say that again. Who gets a what?
Who gets a manicure
Okay, you said it.
during a what did I say?
You said manicure.
Oh, manicure. Who gets a manicure during a genocide? Like this, I don't remember Hitler letting people, stopping to get their nails done
There wouldn't be an option.
before they're on the trains. Right? There's no genocide.
Nail
Sorry.
polish.
So here's the other thing that I'm seeing though is that we're talking about this peace deal and everything, but now a lot of the Free Palestine movement is now moving the goalposts, and they're basically saying, no, this is not the end game. The end game is Israel needs to leave completely from Israel. It needs the entire land is owed to Palestine. And it should all be
Goodbye.
Palestine. So this is now where a lot of these people are going to in terms of their rhetoric and their thoughts. So this peace deal is not good enough because Israel is still there. That's the problem. And I don't know if, Hannah Einbinder is part of that or whatever, Qatar is paying her to say and do, but I'm just assuming that's what's happening. This is basically, this is what they're trying to change the narrative now into, no, peace is not good enough. We need peace. The only way we can find peace is if Palestine has the full land back to themselves and there is no more Israel. So that's where we are, and that's where it's headed.
Fine. Shut up. Like, shut up already. Once this war is over, then they're just going to be like annoying in the background.
Well, let's hope it's just a fringe group of these people that are saying it, and we can just get over it and move the fuck
But
on.
once the war is over, they're going to have no bearing to stand on, because the only thing that they have for them going is that there actually is a war going on. But once a war is over and Israel's just back to living their own life, then no one, like, what, move on with your lives. Like,
move on to Sudan, move on to an
then it's on the
actual
media.
genocide.
But then it's on the media, because if the media continues to focus on Israel and Gaza after the war is over, then they're psycho.
Yeah, then it just completely...
Because there's so much else going on. I don't know if you watched Bill Maher last week, but the Christians in Nigeria, what's going on over there is psychotically sad.
I know. It's all... There's so much stuff. There's stuff in China. There's
Horrible.
stuff in Nigeria. There's stuff in Sudan. There's
two
genocide.
People reporting on it. No one's talking about it. No Jews, no news.
Right, and that's what the last 2 years have been. And the fact that... And I'm sick of people, Americans... that are so anti-Israel, standing behind, I don't want my tax dollars going to this. Okay, that's such bullshit. It's such a bullshit thing to say. That's what Dave Matthews said. That's what a lot of other people say that are anti-Israel, and it's BS.
Why is America funding these wars?
It is
insane.
It is.
Number one, and I wish I was like prepared with all my notes, but the fact that Israel is in the Middle East is the only reason why the Islam basically has not completely infiltrated the West.
Right.
And we have to, and this is the part that I think a lot of people have skipped over. I think a lot of people are in denial over the infiltration of the radical Islam and what's happening in Europe and what's happening with Zoran and what's happening with, London and Sharia law and like all of the jihad, the radical jihad. Like, I think people are in denial. I think they just think Israel gets their way because they're Jewish and why they always get their way.
Right.
I don't think they understand how interconnected and how much we need Israel. Like as an America,
Yeah.
It's weird. I think they just think it's a one-way relationship.
Well, they continue to say that, they being this conspiracy theorist or, people who are very pro Palestine, the rhetoric is that, Israel owns us,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's that whole thing where, it goes back to everything against Jews, where it's Jews own everything, right? We talked about this at the beginning. We don't own everything because apparently Hollywood sucks right now. And all these other industries and media and whatnot, the Jews seem to not have a leg to stand on right now when it comes to these industries because of all of this pro-Palestine rhetoric. And this is part of that kind of that message that we do everything because of what Israel tells us to do. They have so much knowledge about us. They have Mossad has all of these things, blackmail things against Trump, against, all these things. Epstein was part of this in Israel. All of these things where they're just making shit up and
Mm-hmm.
thinking that the only reason we fund Israel is because our officials are being blackmailed from
And if
people
they went
from
against
Israel.
Israel, it would all get ruined.
Correct. And that that's like part of the whole Charlie Kirk thing, right? Which was, again, why would Charlie Kirk get assassinated? Because obviously Israel did it because he was going to come out with this bullshit where he was turning against Israel. So Netanyahu had him killed, and which is
So,
of course ridiculous.
and then, and here's the craziest part. So we're recording this on October 1st. Charlie Kirk died almost 1 month ago on September 10th. We have talked about this now for 2-3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
This Israel theory that people like I say people like because it really is Candace Owens. I think Tucker Carlson helped, but Candace Owens is the primary person that started this theory, and other people that just hate Jews in Israel really like created and continued. But then I told you last week that people even more on the right, like Nick Fuentes, doesn't even agree with her. It's like really, truly, Candace Owens is the only one that is really taking the reins on this anti-Israel and Israel did it theory. Now, Candace Owens is very interesting I don't say that in a positive way, but she's an interesting person in the sense that she has managed to really capture this. I want to say like she captured this kind of across party lines,
Mm-hmm.
left and right, mostly white,
Yep.
mostly white women, mostly women,
I'd say there's
men
men
too,
in there
but
too. Yeah.
mostly women like me, if not
Yeah.
Jewish.
Actually, I mean, you're right. I see a lot of.
They're
Again,
moms.
I know it's anecdotal, but when you go on like pages like that, it's a lot of women, like,
They're a lot of
30s,
women.
30-year-old women that are there, kind of,
She calls them mommy
hanging on
sleuths.
it, right, hanging on every word that
She
she is.
always makes comments like, "This is your soap opera. This is our carpool line. Like, talk to your mom friends. Tell your mommies." She always makes comments like that. This is what we do when this is what all the moms are talking about in carpool line. She loves to do stuff like that to be like, "Yeah, this is what we're doing. Like talking to our friends, our mom friends," because she lessens the the bigness, the big like strength of the crazy, um, dangerous
Yep.
words that she puts out there by making it sound like she's just gossiping with friends.
Right. And she is, I mean, I hate to say this, but the woman is smart. Like,
Psychotically smart.
but that's the thing. And people, this is when it's scary. It's when there's actually smart people that are posting this. I don't know what she believes and what she actually believes.
Okay,
I am not
so
convinced. But like,
so
talk
we
about what you're going to
talked
say.
about last week how she was so intent on Israel, but then Israel had talked about Netanyahu had quoted a couple sentences from a letter that Charlie Kirk had written him. So Candace then said, but he's not reading the full letter. And if he had read the full letter, he would say that in the full letter, there's a reason he's not reading the full letter, because I know that in this full letter, Charlie was not happy with Israel. Charlie was turning on Israel, and Charlie had a lot of issues with Netanyahu. And the way she says it, and she's like, I know. I know.
Hmm.
And if he doesn't show, I will. I will. Well, Netanyahu or someone on Netanyahu or maybe Charlie Kirk's team, who knows, said, I'm not going to let her let, the world think that Charlie sent Netanyahu a letter saying Israel's the worst, I'm turning on
Right.
you. So they released the letter and an exclusive to the New York Post or whatever, I don't remember, just earlier this week or last week, I can't
Hmm.
remember, earlier this week. 6-page letter. And the letter is so Charlie Kirk, from what I've learned about Charlie Kirk and his stance on Israel, which is basically, I adore Israel. I have nothing but respect for Israel. I love Israel. I've been there many times and I care about it. Here's my feedback. You are losing the information war. This is nothing we didn't know he felt, and this is nothing we don't already know.
Right.
Your PR game is weak. Also, not a shock. We all see this in front of our eyes. You are doing the right thing, but they are winning the information, the propaganda war. You need help. Stop putting your, old ass people behind a camera and a dark podium, right? Did you read the whole letter?
I read parts of it,
He
but
basically is
continue.
saying, like, get with the program and get with the times. Put younger people on camera. Get younger social media people out there. Like, get on it fast.
Right.
Don't wait to respond. Don't put the same old IDF guy to respond for every little thing. Like, you got to get on the information war, because that's what's going to take you guys down for the young generation of conservatives that are losing faith in Israel. He
Yes.
is so right. But you don't send a letter like that to the prime minister of a country that you want to lose.
No, of course not. You send it to somebody who you have a deep admiration for, in a country that you believe deserves to exist and deserves to win not only the war, but the information war, and I don't want to say propaganda war, but
But it
the
is.
online social media war.
Exactly. And if you think for any second in any world that the other side is not completely funded by financial, by money, free Palestine, all that bullshit, we watched October 8th, we saw the documentary. You know that this shit has been funded and underground funded for so
For
many years.
years.
They've been doing this from way before. So Israel has just not been doing it the illegitimate way. They've been
Right.
doing it for real. They just been hoping that the truth would come out naturally. Well, unfortunately, in this world, it kind of, they needed a push.
Yeah.
And sadly, what happened was he wrote this letter in like May. I think it was around May. Okay,
Okay.
there's so many things I want to say. But then really, and I'll make it fast because I don't want to monopolize the conversation. So he writes this letter on Monday. Candace, meanwhile, I don't watch her show, but from what I see on clips and from what my girlfriend tells me, who sits through the hell for me, I'm like, has she dropped the Israel stuff now? Like, we've dropped it, right? And she's like, yeah, she's pretty much dropped it. Well, I sent it to you today.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Candace Owens releases a reel last night. It's based on what she said on her show yesterday, where she so doubles down
Mm-hmm.
and she challenges Turning Point. This is Charlie Kirk's company, his
Yeah.
now wife's company, because she's now the CEO, his kids' legacy company, like whatever success they're going to have. All of her she was the start. She started Turning Point with Charlie. Like, she was there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is she doing? She basically says in this reel
Oh,
that,
Candace,
what?
you're saying Candace
Yeah.
says in this reel. Yeah.
Yeah. She basically says, I am challenging you, Turning Point, because I know that you have a donor, a Jewish donor, who was threatening you. Of course, she says Jewish 10 times because that's so essential for this
It's very
conversation.
important. It's very important.
She says, I mean, here's the thing. I'm just going to play it because it's so sick and I feel like everyone should just see it.
I got to watch it again.
You do, unfortunately.
All right.
If I do, you do.
Fine.
It's beyond. Well, in case, because hopefully the people that are watching this don't watch her.
Turning Point USA executives to issue a very clean statement saying that I am lying if this is not true. About 48 hours before Charlie Kirk died, Charlie informed people at Turning Point, as well as Jewish donors and a rabbi, that he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause outright. Okay.
48 hours before he died, he told a Jewish donor
And a rabbi.
and a rabbi, like a Jewish donor, a rabbi, and Charlie Kirk walk into a bar.
Walk into a bar.
Charlie was done. He said it explicitly that he refused to be bullied anymore by the Jewish donors.
24 hours before Charlie Kirk was shot, he had Ben Shapiro on his show. Just remember that.
Yep.
That's weird.
Can you guys answer? Did he express that? Did he also express that he wanted to bring me, Candace Owens, back because he was standing up for himself? And then did he, just 48 hours later, conveniently catch a bullet to the throat before our onstage reunion could happen? It's a yes or a no. Explicitly, I want to hear from Turning Point USA that I'm lying about that. I want you to say no, it was just, he was feeling a little bit of pressure. No, I want you to literally answer what I have just said. It either happened or it didn't. I'm either making it all up or it happened exactly as I'm saying. And while we're at it, may I ask, what is the name of the Jewish donor who sponsored the Hamptons weekend? Okay. And to Pastor Rob McCoy, were there any LLCs that you or your son were being paid through that sat outside of Turning Point? I'm asking that question genuinely. Yeah, I'm putting the fire here right at the feet of Turning Point because I am disgusted. I am genuinely disgusted. I am looking around and wondering whether Charlie's entire life was the Truman Show. None of you guys are behaving in the way that you should be behaving, okay? There is no way you are letting these lies fly unless, as I am hearing, unless it is true that there was a big payday that was on the line. And if Charlie radically stated that he was done with Israel, if Charlie said he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause because of, and I quote, Jewish donors, the behavior of Jewish donors, if he said that, yes or no, well then, I don't know, maybe some people didn't want to take that risk that he...
As I'm listening to that again, unfortunately, I was reading some of the comments that were there, and it's like you said, it's these like soccer mom women.
It's all these moms.
She like one of the comments said, like, I feel like I knew, I'm this random Republican in Texas. I feel like I know Charlie Kirk more than his own wife knows him. I'm like,
I cared about him more than his wife.
Do you hear what you're saying in that comment? Like, just because you've listened to a couple of stupid Candace Owens clips and podcasts, now you know him more. Well, it also scares me too that, like, you see comments like that. How easy is it for people to get so brainwashed and not see an entire picture?
I have no idea, and I think that at this point, to put it out there, like, why aren't you just showing the receipts, Candace? Like, why don't, if you know so confidently that this Jewish donor was so involved and that Charlie had this conversation 48 hours and that you were supposed to come back and join him on tour 48 hours after he died, then you must have in writing somewhere a text from Charlie Kirk, an email from Charlie Kirk,
right,
or something in writing saying, will you join me on stage in September at blah, 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 blah. Show us. What is this? I'm putting your feet to the fire, Turning Point. This is not normal behavior. This is putting someone else in a position of having to defend themselves. But you should just say, I have proof that I was being asked and this is what happened. Like, this is not normal behavior as a journalist.
I mean, use your quotes on that one.
But this is actually like, and the thing is that people are writing and they're like, everyone should have a friend like Candace when they die.
Yeah.
You think Charlie Kirk, if he could look down right now, you think he would say, thank you so much for blowing up the company that I worked my ass off, that my best friend is holding down, that my wife is going to take over, and that is the legacy of my kids. Thank you so much for airing out our public and private dramas to potentially make everyone distrust us and make us think that we are all shady motherfuckers. Thank you
Right.
so much, best friend.
Yeah, and I said this to you this morning.
Shocking.
She is 100% using his death to monetize her, basically to get more money, right? Everything that she is doing right now is 100%. I don't honestly think, maybe she does actually. Maybe she doesn't think this is all true. But I feel that she is a grifter, an evil grifter who is literally using his death to make money off of. They talk about how, that, and even in those comments, people are saying that, and then people are fighting back saying, no, she's not. She's doing this because she actually cares. And I'm like, it makes no sense because I haven't talked in 5 years. Like, or there's some kind of.
They had. I'm sure they still had a decent relationship. Charlie did say that he did not agree with her on Israel,
Right.
but he will never. He doesn't lose friends over these things, and I appreciate that. Look, I really do appreciate if you have a strong enough friendship with someone like Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice thing that you can, but I don't think there's something different about, talking to Erica offline and being like, we've got to figure this out, Erica. Something feels really off about this, versus making this a public series where you're now taking down his company.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's a vendetta that she has against Turning Point.
Well, it's the Israel thing.
Well, but is it, or is she just looking for new ways of getting money? Is Qatar paying her to do this? As we can always talk about, and when we say that some of these fuckers are probably under, are getting a payday for all of this. But the more she talks about this, she knows that this continues to live. We continue to talk about it. Not that we have obviously not a big following as Candace, but we continue to talk about it.
There's tons of people that are talking about it.
Exactly.
Everyone's talking about it.
Even people that, you share, I don't remember, you share a lot of, right-leaning people in terms of, TikToks and Instagrams with me who don't agree with Candace at all. But they keep on, and platforming is such a weird thing because I do agree that there needs to be debate and there needs to be a listen to of all sides. But yeah, at a certain point, we are continuing to kind of perpetuate this message by talking about it. I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about it, but it does live on. And if this is what's going to get her hits and this is what's going to get her views and, all in all, get her paid even more, then why not? I don't think I don't think she is a sane human being. I don't think she's a nice human being. I honestly think she is an evil person.
I got into it with my friend. He was like, I just don't think she's malicious. I just think that she gets really tunnel vision and gets really obsessed with things. And I said, no, I actually think that there's malice here. I think you have to be malicious to know that you are going after an entire group of people, and you can say, oh, it's just Israel. It's just Israel. Bull.
Right.
You have to be insane to think. And I tweeted today, I said, at this point, if you are still obsessed with Candace Owens, you're not desperate to find the truth. You just literally hate Jews in Israel. There's no way, because she has not provided one receipt in this entire Charlie Kirk investigation. She just moves on to the next thing. And the people just go with her. It's so weird. She's always like, I'm going to show you what I got. And then she just goes on to the next thing without showing any proof of anything that she just got you down that rabbit hole. She did it even with the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively stuff. And I was very into that stuff. So I was watching her during that time because it was like she wasn't really obsessed with Israel yet during that time. Right. She would talk about the Gaza war and, that would be a little bit of a turnoff. She'd be like, Justin Baldoni and now Gaza. I was like, whoa. But with the Justin Baldoni stuff, she would report on things that I had already talked about 2 weeks before, but she would talk about it as fact, as if she found it out. Not that she would steal it from me, but like we were all talking about it before, and she would act as if she figured it out. She found it out, and she was the only person that discovered it. She would talk about things that were not true and say that she had receipts and like spoke up to people on set, but she never provided evidence of anything.
Yeah.
It's all it's all
it's no
click.
receipt.
It's all like and people fall for it so easily, and it's really like, and it's fine if you want to do it about Justin Baldoni and Ryan Reynolds. That's low stakes shit.
And that's something that a lot of people are talking about, and it's low take. It's regarding two people that are.
It's not going to get someone killed.
Right.
This will get people killed. And there's a person that I considered myself friends with. He is definitely a right-leaning person, and I connected with him over a true crime case that we were both really obsessed with, and I knew that he was right-leaning. I did not know his hardcore feelings against Israel until more recently, and I have tried desperately. I've talked to him about it, but we kind of got into an argument over it because he got like pretty offended that I was telling him like, why would you follow Candace? Because he was like, you can't tell me who not to. But just this morning, I woke up and his reel went viral because he's like, you got to let Candace do her thing. You got to just let her cook. Let her cook. She's the only one that's worked. And people are like, let her go. Just let her go. And I'm like, but when she doesn't come up with the receipts, which she won't, when she doesn't, are you going to actually be like, wait, did I just get bamboozled? Or are you going to keep listening to her?
They're going to keep listening. It's just what's going to happen.
That's the craziest part is like, at what point do you realize you're in a cult?
I don't know. Sorry, last thing.
Yes.
Speaking of receipts, let's go back to my favorite
talk about
word.
CVS receipts? What are we talking about?
No. Well, we'll get into that. Not the CVS part. Let's go back to my favorite word, flotilla. Because
yes.
Greta and her merryman
flotilla that apparently kicked off a gay guy.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they don't like gay people on those flotillas.
Yeah, they realize, you realize that you
can't bring gay people to Gaza.
No, it doesn't happen. They don't agree with it. Anyway, so basically what's going on there is Israel discovered these documents, these signed documents by Hamas officials. Did you just put on lipstick, by the way?
It's like a lip gloss with a little tint. Why do you got to make a thing out of it? You talk about flotilla, I want to look pretty.
Aren't you going to the dentist after this? Isn't that weird?
It's like a lip gloss with a tint. Stop.
I never understand women's makeup or tint.
Oh my God. Can you stay on topic?
Not when you were doing that. Okay, so Flotilla. So Greta is now a part of this this group. Oh my God, she's putting on deodorant. Spotify. Apple and Spotify. She's putting on deodorant.
What would you do if all of a sudden I started like tweezing my eyebrows?
I can't talk through that.
Okay, keep going. I just put on chapstick. Lip gloss.
Tint. I still don't know what that means. So they ended up there was documentation basically that Israel found that was signed by Hamas officials.
Okay.
That the flotilla is basically sponsored by Hamas.
And where did they find the documents specifically? Do you know?
I'm trying to remember exactly. I got to look exactly where they found it. I think the IDF was the one who uncovered it. I think maybe even when they were searching one of the flotillas, or I can figure out exactly where that was. But what ends up happening now is that the whole idea of the flotilla was to bring goods and things and healthcare and all these different things to the people of Gaza for them to get through. But of course now that wasn't the point, which we pretty much knew wasn't the point. When I say we, me and you and probably many other Jews knew that it was, well, what I thought was it was a publicity stunt at the worst, right? It was just something for Greta to hold on to because it's something that's her next cause, quote unquote. But now it has even more of a nefarious connection to it, where it's not just a cause for Greta. It is actual Hamas resistance groups signing off on and funding the flotilla.
So basically the enemy of,
Yes.
of the people she's trying to help
Yes.
are funding this saving Palestine bullshit.
Correct. And it's more of these things that we talk about where Hamas, Qatar, all of these different either countries or organizations who want Israel gone, who want Jews gone, continue to fund these different things. And it comes out as, and what they're supposed to look like are, again, humanitarian efforts or education when it comes to university and university teachers and people who are teaching at these different schools. These are funds that are coming from nefarious places for one reason only, which is to get rid of the Western civilization. It continues to do that, and people are not opening their eyes to this. This is why I say receipts, because there is a receipt there. There's documentation. There continues to be links between all of these organizations, all of these countries that do not like Western civilization, and they just want to see the downfall of it. And this flotilla thing is such a small piece of it, but it's just another notch on that belt of let's get rid of Israel and continue to infiltrate and mess up Western civilization until it no longer exists. And that is the end goal here. And that's, me and Douglas Murray see it, and I hope everybody else does.
Have you been
on a flotilla?
Thank God, no. It looks like hell.
I don't know. One of them I saw people dancing. I saw people enjoying themselves.
It looks like it smells like BO.
I mean, well, is that why you put on deodorant right
Yeah,
now?
like I thought about flotillas and I was like,
I mean,
smell.
maybe I'm a little stanky.
Yeah,
All
it just looks like a lot of like underarm hair.
It's not where I want to be. If I'm going to go on a cruise ship,
not
it's not
the
a
vibe
flotilla
for me. I'm not a flotilla girl.
No, it's not a Royal Caribbean. It's not one of these.
It's not a yacht.
No, not a yacht at all. Exactly.
Adam, I hope you have an amazing and easy fast, and I will see you next week. Thank you guys so much all for being here for another week of Just You and Me. And Gmar Chatima Tova.
What she said. Yes, please do that.
Have a happy and amazing, easy, fast New Year, all the things, even though I think it should go the other way.
Okay, fair enough. And
we'll see you in 5768. Are we already there?
We're already there, but we'll see you on the next week of that.
Yes, the next week of that. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.